Hello and good day, Mike Adcock with an update on Tropical Depression Caloy located over northeastern Mindanao in the Philippines. This briefing is based on the 6th Zulu Japan Meteorological Agency warning and summary from the 22nd of March. Taking a look at satellite imagery, we do see quite a bit of convection across the central and southern Philippines. Do have a lot of this convection starting to wrap around the center. This is affecting the eastern and central Visayas. Do have another batch of convection affecting Mindanao, and that's really going to be the big story with this system is the convection. Although you do have great outflow aloft, and that's indicated here by this cirrus clouds off to the northwest. Because this system is starting to track over land right now, you're not going to see a lot of development in the near term, if any. And so this is really going to be a rainmaker for the Philippines. At 2 p.m. Philippines time, the center of circulation was estimated by JMA to be about 95 kilometers east-northeast of General Luna, or about 165 kilometers east of Siargao City. Pagasa, on the other hand, at 4 p.m., said the center was in the vicinity of Siargao City. It is continuing to move off to the west, and our pressure at 1,004 hectopascal. For Dvorak, not really much to say here. There is some good convection wrap right now. Both NESDIS and JTWC looking at about a 3/10 banding. That's yielding the 1.5 numbers there on Dvorak. ADT a little bit stronger at 2.1, 2.2 for the current intensity. And basically this is just saying that this is a weak tropical depression. Looking across the big picture here, the big story is strong area of high pressure off to the north. You do have higher pressure affecting or extending across the Pacific in toward the Mariana Islands and Guam. That's starting to move off to the east thanks to this cold front that's stemming from a very strong area of low pressure that affected northern Japan a couple days ago. Behind it, though, more high pressure, very strong area of high pressure. And that's going to basically wall off Caloy and keep it heading off to the west. You see this here on the surface analysis from JMA. Again, 1,026 hectopascal high there just to the east of China. I mentioned that low, very, very strong system, rapidly deep in there, 968 hectopascal. That's going to continue to move off toward the northeast. Again, by and large, high pressure off to the north of the tropics, and that's just going to continue to keep Caloy moving westward. Looking at radar, this is from Pagasa. I mentioned this earlier. The big story with this system is going to be heavy rain showers, and you're seeing this very strong reflectivities from radar indicating very strong rain showers and thunderstorms across the eastern Visayas as well as northeastern Mindanao. And these showers are going to continue moving off to the west. So this is going to be the big story for the weekend and moving into early next week. As of 0 Zulu this morning in the Philippines, Pagasa was issuing advisories on Caloy. The track was, again, continuing to move off to the west, just south of Bohol there, affecting them, southern Cebu Island, making landfall in and around the Dumaguete area before it reemerges into the Sulu Sea. The problem that we're going to run into is this is starting to weaken. Matter of fact, Pagasa has already declared the system as being weakened to a low pressure area. They have dropped all of the storm warning signals, and they're no longer issuing track information on Caloy. A little concerning considering that there isn't a whole lot of difference between what it was and what it is now. So I really don't want folks letting their guard down just because this is now a low pressure area. This is still going to provide very heavy rainfalls across a majority of the Philippines. Now, in terms of the forecast, though, not anticipating a whole lot of strengthening. Again, really more weakening as the frictional effects of the islands pay its tolls to the system, and it should start to dissipate by the time it reemerges in the Sulu Sea as drier air moves in associated with the northeast monsoon. Here's JTWC's track a little bit, and right now the initial intensity with this system, 55 kilometers per hour with gusts up to 75, just off to the east there of Surigao City, continuing moving to the west or just south of due west, again affecting Bohol, Cebu, and Negros Island before re-emerging in the Sulu Sea. At that point, it should be pretty much said and done at that point. That being said, again, this is going to be a rainmaker, and this is the precipitation forecast from GFS over the next 5 days. So this is total precipitation over the course of the next 5 days. And what you're seeing here is very heavy rainfalls, specifically in the Visayas, but Mindanao and the windward side of Luzon, you're definitely under the threat here. The areas you're seeing there in orange, right now that estimates about 100 millimeters of rainfall. In red, that's 200 millimeters. And then the white that you see there, that is indicating up to 300 or greater than 300 millimeters of rainfall. So what we're really concerned with, not so much the winds. I mean, it's going to be a little breezy out there, but it's going to be the very heavy rainfalls. That's going to result in some flash flooding and possibly some landslides, especially in the more mountainous terrain. So some to definitely keep an eye on over the next few days. Taking a look at the latest surface observations in and around the area, the big story again, far northeastern Mindanao, and then the far eastern parts of the Visayas. You're seeing those rain showers moving into your area. And taking a look at conditions over in Surigao right now, very heavy rainfalls. That's restricting the visibility down to 4 kilometers. Very saturated out there, and our current pressure at 1,004.4 hectopascal. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor this over at westernpacificweather.com. You can also follow along on Twitter and Facebook. Join in on the conversation at storm2k.org. You can check me out on the collection of media sites there down at the bottom of your screen. Thank you all for tuning in. Be safe. Have a great day and take care.